Ben Crane. Ben Crane doesn't just have a pre-shot routine, he has a full-scale production that could rival a NASA launch sequence. We're talking 45 seconds minimum per shot, and that's when he's genuinely trying to speed things up. Crane's routine involves more steps than assembling IKEA furniture while blindfolded. The process starts long before he even approaches the ball. Crane will stand behind his shot, calculating wind patterns, atmospheric pressure, and possibly the rotation of the Earth. He'll consult his yardage book multiple times, cross-reference it with his caddy, and then consult it again as if the numbers might have changed in the last 30 seconds. When he finally decides to approach the ball, the real show begins. He approaches from the side at a deliberate pace, takes his stance, then immediately backs away. He'll repeat this approach and retreat dance multiple times, each time making microscopic adjustments to his alignment. Then comes the glove adjustment phase. Crane will remove his glove, examine it, put it back on, adjust each finger individually, remove it again, and repeat the process. His practice swings are full rehearsals, complete with the exact tempo and rhythm he plans to use for the actual shot. The guy was so methodically slow that in 2013, the PGA Tour put him on the clock multiple times in a single season. When tour officials are timing you like a NASCAR pit stop, you know you've crossed a line. What makes Crane's routine challenging to watch is its consistency. This is his standard operating procedure for every shot. Jason Day. Jason Day's pre-shot routine wouldn't be nearly as notorious if it weren't for his signature move, freezing at the top of his backswing like someone had pressed pause on the television remote. This wasn't a quick hesitation. Day would hold that position for what felt like geological ages, often lasting anywhere from 5 to 15 seconds. The routine itself starts normally enough, including a thorough analysis of the shot and consultation with his caddy. But once he addressed the ball and began his backswing, that's when he'd simply stop. During this hold, he appeared to be conducting some sort of internal dialogue, processing wind conditions, pin placement, and shot selection all over again. The most frustrating part for viewers was the unpredictability. Sometimes Day would deliver a beautiful strike that justified the wait. Other times, he would slowly lower the club, back away from the ball, and start the entire process over again. This reset could happen multiple times on a single shot. Day's routine became so well known that television commentators would actually warn viewers to settle in for the long haul. What made Day's routine especially challenging was that it seemed driven by genuine indecision rather than just methodical preparation, making his internal struggle excruciating to watch. Kevin Na. Kevin Na's pre-shot routine reached legendary status during the 2012 Players' Championship when he stood over a single shot for nearly 3 minutes. 3 full minutes of standing, thinking, adjusting, and rethinking. To put that in perspective, that's longer than most television commercial breaks and about the same time it takes to soft-boil an egg. Na's routine was a masterclass in overthinking, beginning with an extensive survey of the shot and detailed discussions with his caddy. This preliminary phase alone could take over a minute. Once he approached the ball, the mental gymnastics began. Na would take his stance, then immediately step back to reassess. He'd check his alignment, reevaluate the wind, and take multiple practice swings, each one slightly different. The most painful aspect of Na's routine was watching him address the ball multiple times, only to back away at the last second as if he'd forgotten something crucial. Tournament officials began following Na around like he was under surveillance. His routine became so notorious that other players in his group would literally walk away and return later to see if he'd managed to hit the shot yet. The whole methodical process became a legitimate strategic concern for his playing partners. Sergio Garcia. Sergio Garcia has removed and replaced his glove more times than a surgeon in a busy emergency room. Garcia's relationship with his glove became one of golf's most documented obsessions, turning a simple piece of equipment into the centerpiece of an elaborate ritual. He'd remove his glove, examine it, stretch it, adjust it, and put it back on, often repeating the process multiple times before thinking about the golf shot. But the glove was just the opening act. Once the glove was on, he'd begin his grip routine, gripping and re-gripping his club with the intensity of someone trying to find the perfect handshake. Each grip adjustment was followed by a series of waggles, not just one or two, but sometimes dozens of small club movements as he tried to find the perfect feel. Garcia's waggle routine became legendary in its own right, following a specific pattern and rhythm that only he seemed to understand. The most challenging aspect was its variability. A pressure situation could trigger multiple cycles of the entire process. Garcia himself eventually acknowledged that the glove obsession was more about managing anxiety than actual equipment concerns. The routine had become a security blanket that, ironically, was making him less secure by drawing attention and criticism. Keegan Bradley. Keegan Bradley approaches golf shots like he's about to defuse a bomb while simultaneously running a marathon. The guy is in constant motion from the moment he begins his routine until he finally strikes the ball, creating a frenetic energy that's both impressive and exhausting to watch. Bradley's routine begins with an intense study of the shot that involves more movement than most people's entire workout routine. He'll pace behind the ball with the urgency of someone late for an important meeting. His consultations with his caddy are animated affairs, complete with hand gestures and multiple position changes. When Bradley finally approaches the ball, the real show begins. He doesn't simply walk up and take his stance, he bounces. Once at the ball, he begins a series of adjustments that would make a Formula One pit crew proud. His stance adjustments are numerous and precise, followed by adjustments to his grip, shoulder alignment, and ball position. The practice swings are full commitment practice shots that mirror the intensity he'll bring to the actual swing. He'll take multiple practice swings, each one slightly different as he calibrates his approach. The sustained intensity means every second is filled with movement, adjustment, and preparation. It's like watching someone try to solve a complex puzzle while riding a mechanical bull. Jim Furyk. Jim Furyk's pre-shot routine is like watching someone perform microsurgery with a golf club. Every movement is deliberate, calculated, and executed with the precision of a Swiss watchmaker. The routine begins from approximately 10 feet behind the ball, where Furyk conducts a comprehensive shot analysis. He'll study the lie, evaluate the wind conditions, consult his yardage book, and have detailed discussions with his caddy. Furyk's yardage book consultation is particularly meticulous. He studies the book like he's cramming for a final exam, cross-referencing multiple pieces of information. When he finally approaches the ball, Furyk's movements are deliberate and measured. He doesn't rush any aspect of his setup, taking time to ensure that every element is precisely where it needs to be. His alignment routine involves multiple checks and adjustments, each one made with the care of someone handling delicate equipment. The practice swings are textbook examples of preparation. Furyk will take the exact swing he plans to use at the precise tempo and rhythm he intends to employ. What makes Furyk's routine particularly challenging for viewers is its consistency and thoroughness. Every shot receives the same level of methodical preparation, from a crucial tournament-winning putt to a routine approach shot. Baddeley. Baddeley's pre-shot routine was like watching someone attempt to achieve absolute perfection in an inherently imperfect game. Baddeley approached each shot with the precision of a NASA engineer calculating a moon landing, treating every variable as if it could make or break his entire career. The routine began with an exhaustive analysis phase covering every conceivable factor. His discussions with his caddy were detailed strategic sessions that covered not just the immediate shot, but potential outcomes and contingency plans. When Baddeley finally approached the ball, the real perfectionism began. His setup routine involved countless micro adjustments, each one designed to optimize some aspect of his position: stance, shoulder alignment, grip pressure. The practice swings were rehearsals for perfection, followed by additional adjustments to his setup, creating a cycle of preparation that could continue indefinitely. What made Baddeley's routine particularly challenging was his tendency to restart the entire process if something didn't feel exactly right. He'd go through his complete setup, take his practice swings, address the ball, and then suddenly back away to begin again. The routine's pursuit of perfection was admirable in its dedication, but exhausting in its execution. Matt Kuchar. Matt Kuchar is universally regarded as one of the nicest guys on tour, but his pre-shot routine moves at the speed of continental drift. Kuchar's approach to golf shots is so methodical and deliberate that it borders on meditative. The routine begins with Kuchar's characteristic smile, which somehow makes his slow pace both more endearing and more frustrating. He approaches each shot with the unhurried confidence of someone who has all the time in the world. Kuchar's shot analysis phase is thorough without being frantic. He'll stand behind the ball, visualizing not just the shot itself, but seemingly the entire sequence of events that will follow. His consultations with his his caddy are relaxed conversations, conducted with the casual pace of two friends discussing weekend plans. When he approaches the ball, Kuchar's movements are deliberate and unhurried. He doesn't rush any aspect of his setup, taking time to ensure that every element feels comfortable. The practice swings are smooth and rhythmic, executed with the same tempo he'll use for the actual shot. Kuchar will take several practice swings, not because he's uncertain, but because he's savoring the preparation process. The routine's most challenging aspect is its consistent, reliable slowness, maintaining the same deliberate pace whether he's hitting a crucial tournament-winning shot or a routine approach. Charles Howell III. Charles Howell III has spent more time standing over golf balls than most people spend in traffic during their entire lifetime. Howell's routine involves so many micro-adjustments and fine-tuning elements that you begin to think he's trying to achieve some sort of perfect mathematical equation with his setup. He approaches each shot with the seriousness of someone defusing a bomb, and his initial shot assessment is comprehensive. Once Howell addresses the ball, the real optimization begins. He'll make an initial adjustment to his stance, then a micro-adjustment to that adjustment, followed by an even smaller refinement. His grip adjustments are equally meticulous. He'll modify his grip pressure, adjust his hand position, and fine-tune his grip multiple times. The alignment process is where his perfectionism really shows. He'll use his club to check his alignment, make an adjustment, check again, and repeat this process until he's satisfied that everything is precisely where it needs to be. Just when you think he's finally ready to hit the shot, he'll make one more tiny modification that triggers another round of fine-tuning. Playing partners have been known to start their own practice routines while waiting for Howell to complete his optimization process. These legendary figures remind us that golf is a game of personality, not just perfection. If you enjoyed these tales of the unexpected, hit the like button and subscribe for more deep dives into golf's wildest careers.